and how are you?
Oh, thank you so much. I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So, I have a lot of questions. I'm more excited to ask you, and all aspirants are waiting to hear from you. So, firstly, I want to ask you, how you doing in your job career right now as an IPS, and how you fighting against COVID there?
Okay. So right now we have been undergoing training from the December of last year, and we were first trained in the National Police Academy at Hyderabad, and then because I have Maharashtra as my cadre, I came to Maharashtra a month before, and we had been training in the Maharashtra Police Academy Nasik. So now I'll be going to Ahmednagar, where I would be doing my DPT, that is District Practical Training. So if we look at COVID had affected mostly at training till now. We have been lucky because we had been doing our training during the time where other police officers have been fighting, and many have even like they have lost their life because of this disease. Our training has not been that affected due to COVID. We There were some for a month or so we had a lockdown in an academy, but because we had no cases, our training had been going fine. So now, from the next week, when I start my DPT at Ahmednagar, that would be the first time I would be really facing the COVID crisis as such.
Okay, so you are now bringing up your challenges on your own. So, let's go to now questions of some UPSC. So, did you switch your career as you are an engineer, of course? So, did you just switch your career, or was it your dream to become UPSC, like crack UPSC?
So, if I'm very honest, I had no dream of cracking UPSC or writing UPSC as such. So, after I completed my graduation from my college, so I'm a computer engineer by graduation. So, I started working in an MNC in Bangalore. So I worked there for a couple of years, but during that time I realized that my motivation for work or my motivation in life as such is social service or helping the people. So that was a point where I thought that okay, UPS is an option, and after 2 years I quit my job and I wrote this exam, and luckily in the second attempt I got through, and I think that that only my passion in life, which I found to be public service or helping the people, it was because of that I wrote UPSC. So I had no dream as such in my school life or even my college life. When my friends used to prepare, I had no inclination toward UPSC. So it was only during my working in the MNC, I realized that it would be a good path forward for me.
All right, that's great. It takes time, right, for thinking about your career and future, of course. And you have already cracked it with the rank of 150. So, how many years did you took for preparing it? How did you go and how did you manage all?
So the attempt in which I got IPS and in which I got a rank of 150 was my third attempt. So during my second attempt, I got into Indian Postal Service. So if you see that I took a year for my first attempt, so in total it took me 3 years to crack this rank of 150.
All right,
And,
but
but
still
I
that.
feel that but I feel that a year as such is sufficient to crack this exam. So if you
Okay.
prepare well for a year, yeah, it is more than enough.
Okay, now as you said, just a year. So, in your language, how do you define patience and focus?
Okay, so patience and focus, I think, are the keywords which everyone says that they are very important for UPC preparation. And patience, as such, I define when you feel that you are not moving, like your outputs are not there, but you are giving your inputs, but you don't get disheartened and you keep on giving the inputs. You don't look at the outputs. You keep on giving the inputs. Even if you fail, you the next day you wake up, you start preparing again, you give your whole you follow your schedule again. That is what patience is, because this is not an exam where you get instant feedback. It is not an exam in which in a month or in 2 months you will come to know that at what level you are, or if you will perform well or you won't perform well. So that is patience for me. And focus is looking at the overall bigger picture. So for example, I did not write UPSC because I wanted a good job or I wanted a service where someone would salute me. I wanted to do UPSC so that I could help people. And that was like my focus point throughout my journey. So whenever I used to feel down, I used to think that why did I leave my job? Why did I come here? So it was not something that I was forced to do, right? So it was something which I did on my own. So I think that is the the focus, I think, which is important for UPSC preparation.
Yes, totally. Like focus and patience are the keywords for UPSC, of course, I believe.
Right.
And like, how did you like? What strategy did you use while preparing for it?
For the strategy part, I took coaching only for my optional subject. I did not take coaching for the GS subject because I chose history as my optional and I had no background in history. So the basic strategy is limit your resources and repeat those. So like everyone say that NCRTs are important, but people think that reading them once or twice would be sufficient, but that is not. Like you'll have to read the NCRT at least 10 times, 12 times. There would be times you will feel that it has become very boring, but again you'll find something new in that if you read it again. So you need to read it many more times, and you need to, like, for sure, you need to limit your resources because people run after new books, new coaching notes, or they think that there is some magical material around which will help them crack the exam. But very frankly, there's no magical material available anywhere. I think NCRTs are the magical material, if you can say that. So limit your resources and repeat them. Even if you're for your optional, if you find a good book, so read that book 10 times instead of reading 10 books like once. I think that would be very helpful. And that was my preparation.
All right. So, like as you said, like optional wasn't your background, like history wasn't your background. So, was that difficult for you to taking an optional, or like how did you choose it?
So for me, in my school days, I used to love reading history. I used to score decent enough marks, and I used to love reading about history. Even in my college, I used to read history books just for fun. So at the optional subjects, I thought that history would be a fun subject to read because I had interest in it already. And because you have to read a lot of material in a particular subject, I felt that interest was important while selecting an optional, and that is why I chose history. So, like people say that you look at how many people are getting selected or how much scoring that subject is, but I did not look at those aspects of history as such, and I chose history just because I had interest in that.
Yeah, that's actually the important part of getting interested in history because history becomes so boring while reading. So, of course. And did you prepare for like test or like you just directly gave test or like did you solve some papers also?
Yeah, so I feel that solving papers has been a very important part of my whole preparation. So what I did is like after I completed a basic reading of the prelims like material which everyone says you have to cover, I started giving prelim tests, and those tests ensured that they gave me a benchmark at what place I am and how much I have to improve. So even if like giving those tests, I understood that if there were some topics in which I have to read something else and that has not been covered by the books I've been reading, so I used to cover those topics from somewhere, from Wikipedia, from the internet. And tests make sure that you get in a schedule. Like if you are giving tests every 5 days, every 6 days, you make sure that you complete that much syllabus in 5 days. You give the test, and again you start preparing for the next test. So that like it for me, it ensured that I did not have to make a timetable on my own, and the test schedule was kind of my timetable. And even for mains, I did the same. Like from between prelims and mains, I started writing mains test every 7-10 days, and I used to make sure that I revise my notes of that particular part of the subject in those 7 days and give that exam. So that helped me like streamline my preparation, I would say.
All right. And how did you deal with current affairs? Like, did you went with the start or like after some preparations?
So for current affairs, reading newspaper, as everyone says, is very important. And I started that on the first day. I thought that I'll write this exam. The Hindu has been my paper, and I've read that paper for the last 4 years now. And I think that reading a single paper is more than sufficient, but you need to read a paper because what happens is people start running after coaching monthly notes or something else. But if you're not reading the papers, you can't get the whole context, like because you won't know that why this news is important or how important this news is. Like the importance of the news can be you can know the importance of the news by how many times that news was repeated in the newspaper. So what I did was I used to read the newspaper, and at the end of every month I used to read a monthly module with the coaching provides. So that made sure that the whole 1 month newspaper was summarized and revised to that coaching material.
All right. And like, how did you prepare your notes? Like in a year, like of course it wasn't so managing as it gets tough while you even preparing.
My notes have been on all online. So what I did was I made notes for prelims and mains separately. For prelims, I made sure that I covered all the objective parts, all the NCRTs, books like Lakshmikant, and for history, geography. So I made notes for prelims which were very objective and which were fact oriented. And for mains, what I did was I used monthly current affair modules of various coachings and as well as some theoretical part to make sure that my notes are more mains focused. Like those were on the basis of introduction, pros, cons, way forward. So my every note on every topic was in this form. So I created notes online for mains, and there was paper wise. And for each paper, also I used to subdivide my note depending on the topics which are there in each paper. So if you look at the UPSC syllabus, they specify like 10 topics for every paper. So whenever I used to read a newspaper article or a current affair article, I used to think that where this thing will go under which topic, and I used to note it under that particular topic. So that made sure that my notes not only they were topic wise, but whenever I used to write an answer, I could correlate between various topics.
All right. And like then I want to ask you, like, what books will you suggest to all UPSC aspirants today?
So if you're asking me about the subject books,
Yes.
okay. So I would suggest firstly NCRTs for sure. 6 to 12th, all NCRTs, like those are the Bible, Quran, whatever you believe in, those have to be done. After that, for polity, I'll suggest Lakshmikant. So everyone has been reading that, and I think that book is more than sufficient for prelims as well as mains. But you need to make sure that you're reading that book 10, 15 times because reading it once or twice won't just do. For modern history, I was more focused on Spectrum, the Spectrum book, and uh, people have been reading Bipin Chandra, but I think Spectrum, like most of the questions which comes in prelims as well as mains, can be done through Spectrum. For environment, I only did a part in the class 12th biology NCRT, which is focused on environment and ecosystem. I was only focused on that part. For economics, I referred to Shriram IAS notes. Like I heard from my senior that those notes are good, so I only read those, and I did not even see any other material, so I can't comment on those. And if we see at art and culture, for art and culture, Nitin Singhania sir has written a very good book. So that book like it is not very dense and also it is interesting with photographs and all. So I highly recommend that book can be done for art and culture. What other subject am I missing? I think this covers prelims as such.
Okay.
Yeah, for mains, but you'll have to do is you'll have to look at the syllabus and you'll have to pick out topics which you have not covered in your prelim preparation. For example, in economics, there are topics like economic models or GDP models. So those topics can be covered from anywhere. I'll just suggest that you read that topic from somewhere and create a two-page note, and that would suffice.
All right. Yeah, that will be so thankful for you, like giving all suggestions of the books. And as of your experience for now, you have of course given UPSC exam. And like, what are the things you think like other aspirants should not do or like should do?
Okay, so the first and the most important thing is don't get disheartened. So this exam is not an exam where you can predict like how well or how bad your exam went. It is very much possible that when you're thinking that you'll not qualify, you'll get a very good rank, and there are times when you'll think that I'll get a very good rank and you won't. So just don't get disheartened. Look at your marks. Look where you can improve. For example, in my first attempt, I clearly remember that I had been getting very good marks in essay paper, like in my mocks and everywhere, and I used to think that I can write well. But when the marks came, I scored marks of 62 out of 250, and that was like one of the lowest marks in the country, I think. So like that I was decided for a day or two, but like I made sure that that did not last long. I picked myself up. I wrote more essays that year, and I scored like more than double marks the next year. So just don't get disheartened and like look at the bigger picture. Like why are you writing UPSC? Nobody has forced you to write this exam, right? It is not an exam you write for getting a good job. It is an exam you write for bigger things, for helping the people, for serving the society, for serving the nation. So always keep that bigger picture in your mind. And sometimes what happens is people get very negative towards this exam, that this exam is pure luck, or this exam, like you can't prepare for this exam. So I'll say that always look at the positive side, like positive side of things, and that can also be done if your group of friends is very positive. Make sure that you stay away from pessimist people, you run away from them, because like they can, your weeks, your months, those will go away. Like if you are with pessimist people, you'll always have negative thoughts. You'll wake up in the morning, you'll think that studies won't help. You need luck, you need prayers. So that is like those two things, like don't getting disheartened and being with positive people are the two things I think are very, very important for the exam. And other than that, studying, everyone knows that you'll have to study for 6 7 hours a day. You have to be persistent, you have to be continuous. It, even it is raining outside, it is hot, it is cold, you have to study. So if you have a plan for 1 year and you follow your plan, you'll surely crack this exam in a year.
Yeah, it's so important to have all the positivity around. I totally agree on that. So, like, as you know, mental breakdown, depression, and anxiety have been like so major problem of all the people right now, and also aspirants right now. So, like, what will you comment on this, or like, what is your opinion on this?
So I think mental health is equally important as physical health. Like everyone should understand that mental health is very, very important. So what I suggest is, firstly, I think that you should not cut off yourself from the, like the whole society as such. Like you always have 2 3 friends who are also preparing, or even if they're not preparing, the friends who will always motivate you. So keep those friends in loop. Don't cut yourself from those friends. Your family, like my family has been my biggest support factor throughout the journey. Your family always help. Whenever you are feeling low, just talk to your mom. She'll make sure that she'll motivate you. And
Yeah.
also, like at any point if you think that you need external help, please go out and take external help. Like taking help for mental issues, I don't think that should even be something which should be discussed. It should be done at the first instance. Like you should not be ashamed of that. There's nothing to be ashamed in that, right? Like if you think at any point that you need help, go and take help, please.
Yeah, surely. Of course, it has been a major part, and people should not be ashamed of it. So, as of your experience, like, what are the changes that you will like to bring in the society, or like you think someone should bring in the society today?
Okay, that is a very loaded question, I'll say, because our society is very complex, and I think it'll need years and years for change. But what I'll want to do is, or what I would like to do is, like I'll make sure that whatever responsibilities I've been giving, I am completing them, and that should be for every individual in the society. Every individual has some responsibilities, and they should make sure that they are completing the responsibilities to the best of their abilities. That is the most we can do, right? And that should be done by everyone. So the society, if we make that habit of doing the best we can, I think our society will improve a lot.
Yeah, totally. And what is the message that you would like to give to all the UPSC aspirant today?
So I'll just say that first of all, you should not write this exam for some reasons like money or fame, or reasons which are not, which you can get in any other field today. Like 10 years back, it was possible that they were not very good private jobs, so you could not get money there. But today, you have opportunity everywhere. So only this write this exam if you have the bigger picture in mind, that the picture is of public service, of helping the people, because this is the only exam which gives you opportunity for all that. Other than that, I would say that don't give hope, don't give up hope. Like hope would, like it would help you a lot. Like even if you fail once, even if you fail twice, I'm very sure that if you're working hard, your inputs will return something in the future for sure. And the last thing I would say is that persistence, like as we've talked, that persistence is very, very important. You need to be persistent, not only during writing this exam, but during your service as such. The service which you are entering in will need a lot of persistence, and this exam will inculcate a hobby of persistence in you. So I say be persistent and be positive. Come on, like this exam is not the end of your life, right? You go without go out with your friends, like take up a hobby, like make sure that you are talking to your family, like minimize that, but make sure that that is a part of your life. Don't cut off at all.
Yeah, totally. And thank you for like giving your time today and keep inspiring everyone and doing great things for our nation today.
Thank you so much, Samiksha. Thank you so much.